And this is my lovely co-host,
Shirley Tyler,
and welcome to the Toni Talk Show. Today's topic is conscience. We all have a conscience. It's God's voice within us. And our conscience tells us, it gives us a gut feeling as to what is right behavior or what is wrong behavior. You feel it in your gut and you know, okay, I don't want to do this, or I don't want to say this, or be this way, or not be this way, because my gut feeling tells me, or my conscience tells me that this is not appropriate, or it's just wrong, right? And another way of describing your conscience is really God's voice in your head, telling you morally what you should be doing, what you should not be doing, especially for yourself and then toward others.
Yes, having a good conscience is a good thing, you know what I mean? Because it helps you in life, everyday's activities, help you making the right decisions, making the right choices, just doing the right thing, you know what I mean? That's going to give you a fulfilled, good life.
Exactly, and it's just being aware of the situation, aware of what it is that you're doing. And knowing that, and if you convict yourself, that's part of the conscience. Like if you, okay, for example, let's say you totally just cheat on your income tax. And somewhere in your gut you're saying, oh, I know this is wrong, but hey, the government cheats us, so you justify it in some way. But really deep down you feel that it may not be the most moral thing to do. Or cheat on your husband, or husbands cheat on your wives, or steal from your job, or just treat someone unjustly. And you feel it in your gut, and you know that, okay, I'm not feeling right about this. I think that maybe perhaps I won't do that again. And then at that point you try to clear your conscience by asking God for forgiveness and forgive yourself and move forward in life and not continue to do things that you know are wrong. Because it's just a bad idea to just do things when you know in your heart of hearts. No one even has to tell you that this is wrong, because you feel it in your gut. You truly feel it in your gut. Now, we have times where people can get to a point where they do so much wrong that they become numb to it. They just continue that behavior.
Speaking on that, you said someone has this mindset where they are stuck in a place where they should know that they're doing wrong.
Yes.
But because they've been doing it for so long, it has become, a part of them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That they don't even see the right in the thing anymore. You know what I mean? That can be very, very, it can be very, very dangerous. And it can be very, very harmful to themselves and to others. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And like I said, if you condemn yourself, when you start feeling somewhere in your gut that, okay, this is a bad idea, then you don't act on it. And all of our reasoning come from our frontal brain. God designed our brain in a way that this frontal lobe that we have is where our reasoning, our consequences come from. That's our conscious brain. And a lot of times, the reason why people are doing things that are so against the law of God and humanity and things like that, really bad things that's going on in society, is because perhaps there's not the right amount of development in their frontal lobe. Maybe from birth. You talk about people born without a soul. Maybe perhaps there's some mental retardation where they can't distinguish right from wrong. Perhaps it's self-inflicted by using too many drugs, mind-altering drugs. And what, like methamphetamines and crack and things like that, it actually eats away at the frontal lobe. It puts holes in it. If you ever see a picture of a brain that's been on drugs like that, there's pieces missing. And at that time, you're not able to reason anymore. You're not able to look at the consequences of decisions that you make. And that's why you get individuals that are on drugs that will, hurt their own parents or their children, or they don't mind robbing a stranger, pushing an old lady down, busting into an old man's house, hurting them, or just hurting animals, robbing people, taking cars. They no longer have that conscience. It's like their soul is missing. And that's why I always, I'm just so against any type of drug use. And I understand people like a little marijuana and things like that for medical reasons or whatever the case is, but you have to be careful even in that, because sometimes they take out what it is that's healing and they leave in the part of it that is addictive. So you don't want anything to control you and control your mind. So in the Bible, Timothy 4:2, it talks about a seared conscience. And a seared conscience is when it's like burned. It's no longer any good, and that comes from additional drug use and constantly doing wrong things. And it's almost like our conscious and our frontal lobe and reasoning and things like that, it is why we're human. You have animals that don't have a frontal lobe. They go straight on instinct, survival, they kill, they do whatever they got to do to survive. But we're not animals, and so I just can't say enough that, just keep your mind straight through exercise, eating right, being kind, reading your Bible, meditating, things like that.
And for those people that don't read the Bible or whatever, there's always something out there that can help you in the right direction and reprogram your mind in a good and a positive and a healthy way. You know what I mean? Also, we can look at individuals, you know what I mean, maybe a pastor, sometimes we have to go to like a psychiatrist or whatever, you know what I mean, or sometimes talking to a strong family member, you know what I mean, or a strong friend, you know what I mean, to help get your mind reset, because it can happen, you know what I mean. So you have to really want to be in a good mindset, to be stable, to able to function in the right way, you know what I mean.
There's a lot of things out here in the world that can set you astray. There's a lot of wrongdoing. There's a lot of glamorizing of wrongdoing on the internet, on television, and things like that. They glamorize things that are immoral, things that are just wrong against mankind. And these children, young people are seeing this and they're like, okay, yeah, you're supposed to go and take what you want, or you're supposed to use someone of the opposite sex to get what you want, or you're supposed to lie and cheat in order to get what you want. That's not what it's about. You can do nothing but harm yourself in the end by choosing the wrong route to get ahead. You can get ahead truly by doing kind things, doing things that don't hurt anyone else or hurt yourself, doing things that serve you well, serve humanity well, serve other people well. You can't go wrong with that. To have a great conscience and be able to self-regulate, manage your own self, that's the key. That's the key. Because eventually you're going to get consequences from what you do.
Exactly.
You may not see the consequence, or that person that has that seared conscience, they may not see it because they have a seared conscience. Their frontal lobe is not developed. They don't know reasoning. They don't know consequences anymore. But oh yeah, there's going to be some consequences to what you do. In whatever way, be it on a high level or on a lower level. If you decide that, okay, my husband messed around on me, so I get him. I'm going to mess around on him. That's going to lead to divorce. That's going to lead to more chaos. Why complicate things further? Just make a decision on if you want to forgive that person and stay with them, or you decided to rid yourself of them. You don't go out and involve yourself into something that could cause problems for you and it become a bigger situation. If you go out and rob a store because you are a meth addict, oh, it's going to be some consequences. You may not be able to pick it up and say, oh, I think I might go to jail for this, but you will. Mm-hmm. You will. So how about don't do drugs? How about don't do the things that can destroy what makes you human?
Exactly.
And no, we don't want to talk about someone going out and committing a crime against another, robbing, stealing, killing, all that good stuff, because that's what drugs and things will do to you. It'll do that to your brain. It'll make your brain where you're not able to reason.
Exactly. I was going to speak up on crime. Mm-hmm. As we look at our society today, we see so much crime, and we ask ourselves, those that are in our right mind, why do people do what they do? What would provoke someone to want to rob someone or to take someone else's life, unconsciously? What is that all about? Sometimes I'm going to say something about the young people, you know what I mean? We love our young people. Mm-hmm. We have such a heart for the young people, you know what I mean? And we know that sometimes it can be many reasons why our young people may fall to things that are not right. You know what I mean? That would lead them into badly decisions. You know what I mean? Which is dealing with the conscience, right?
Yeah.
So we don't know sometimes if they have gone through something in their home or whatever, or maybe they're not being treated kindly and lovingly. But I just want to say this, that you don't have to take the wrong route. You don't have to allow someone to dictate to you and get in your mind conscious to tell you that it's okay to go murder someone. It's okay to rob from someone. It's okay to steal, to do things that are not right. You know what you need to do? You need to just go to a church. Find a church in the neighborhood, or look at someone that you can draw from that can give you that positive feedback. You understand what I mean? Reach out to someone. You know what I mean? There is always help and there is always hope. You understand what I mean? So it's so much to this that I could say. Just taking the wrong path sometimes can lead you to, doing the wrong things, which deals with the mindset. So there's hope.
There's always hope.
Yeah.
There's always hope, and you kind of get me a little fired up here. Mm-hmm. I realize that it's a possibility right now that someone could be watching this and they may not have any interest at all. Mm-hmm. But for those that it do, and those that it may reach, and like Shirley said, we have a heart for young people. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of young people out there. There's a whole generation. If you're not familiar with this, what they call a crack generation. Mm-hmm. When crack was poured into the neighborhoods, there are children that were born addicted. There were children that were born where their parents were addicted. Mm-hmm. And in that, it caused damage to the brain. Mm-hmm. So we had a whole group of children out here. Young people, I'm not going to say children because it's like they're in their late 20s, 30s now, mm-hmm. Okay? And we wonder why there's so much robbing, stealing, and killing, okay? Because these children were born at a deficit. Mm-hmm. But like Shirley said, regardless of that, it's still a chance that they can turn things around through God. Mm-hmm. You young people that are out here that I am talking to, that Shirley and I are talking to right now, and those that this doesn't apply to, please just let it ride. Mm-hmm. Finish out the video, sit it to the side, or send it to somebody that it may help. But there's always help. There's always hope, mm-hmm. because God loves you. Mm-hmm. And there's a way of rebuilding the mind, mm-hmm. rebuilding the spirit, the soul, mm-hmm. and doing what is right. I saw in the news a while back where a young man had climbed through the window of an elderly person's house and robbed them. And on the way out, the young man was shot and killed. One of his younger counterparts were on the news, and she was serious, man. She was like, look, she had no business shooting him. They had no business shooting him. He's just trying to get what he needs.
Wow.
Really? He's trying to get what he needs from someone else by stealing it? No, maybe she shouldn't have shot and killed the kid. But I guess she was trying to get her justice. I don't know, protect herself.
Exactly.
Or whatever the case was. But it was not right no matter how you cut it. It wasn't yours. You had no business going in anybody's house.
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly.
So the way some of these children in certain areas think, their mindset is all wrong, is all twisted. It's twisted. Because no one has a right to take anything from someone else that is not theirs.
Exactly.
No one has a right to intrude, push somebody down and take their purse, or push an old man down and take what he has because you can, because you're physically capable of doing it to get what you want. And then the young lady said, he just wanted to get him some new gym shoes. Really? Walk a hole in your shoes like we did when we were kids. You'll be all right. Get a job as soon as you get a chance to get a job and buy your own things.
Right.
It's not right no matter how you cut it. But some of these kids don't have a conscience. They didn't come, the mother or father may have been on drugs. They were born in a deficit. But it's still a chance. Right is right and wrong is wrong. You don't take from anybody. You don't rob, steal, and kill and hurt nobody. It's just wrong. Figure it out. Get a job. Get an education. Do what you got to do. And then you have loved ones, people that really love and care about you, that's afraid. They're afraid for you. They're scared every day that you're going to end up dead. And it's just not fair to the people that love it. And then you want to go out there, some of you, and have you some babies. If you know you don't have what you need, why are you bringing a baby into the world? And then if your baby or your girlfriend or your boyfriend, whoever you're involved with, gets hurt as a result of something you've done, how fair is that? Be a lone ranger. Stay by yourself if you think you're going to continue to do wrong things. But I understand that it comes from somewhere. It comes from somewhere. But know that there's hope. There's hope for everybody. And like Shirley said, find yourself a church home. Find someone that you can look up to. Someone, God will always put somebody in your path, no matter what your situation is, that will assist you in being better if you have the heart to do better.
Exactly. Exactly. And then, talking about this as well as we kind of gearing toward our youth right now with this particular topic. It's also for some adults too, because we want to speak to the youth as well. Almost lost my train of thought. I had mentioned earlier that there is hope and there is help, you know what I mean? And some people say, well, I don't know where to go get it from, like you said, God would always put someone in your pathway, you know what I mean, that would reach out to you. As a community, living in a community, I feel that as an adult, myself, that sometimes we have to watch our children in our neighborhood. And like you was talking about that conscience, you know what I mean? Sometimes I look at some of the young people where I stay at, and I may see something that may be a little bit off. Back in the day when I was coming up, if you did something that was out of order, what they say, the older people, they would correct you, you know what I mean? And it wouldn't be no major problem or whatever. But now today, it's like us older people in our generation, so many of us are so afraid to say anything. And I do understand you have to use wisdom, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
But sometimes your intuition, God would give you, you know what I mean? Sometimes at that moment, for that particular group of, to give that child or that young person, give them something that they need to bring their mind back in the right place. Say, now no.
Exactly.
I can tell you some stories. I done been on the buses. I done been on the trains. I done been in situations where I'm like, the spirit that's in me, the God conscious that's in me, I do know sometimes I have to step up and take authority, because I look at my own life when I was coming up as a young girl. My life has not always been peachy. It has always been it's been a struggle. It has been a struggle, you know, but I have overcame so many things, you know what I mean, because of my thrive, because of my determination, you know what I mean, and you know, finding somewhere where I can pull strength from, you know what I mean. Music has been my opening, you know what I mean, singing in the church and acting, you know. I've always been a person that's been interested in this in arts, you know what I mean, and creativity. So you can have the right mind conscious and do the right thing for yourself and for others, and in that you will be blessed.
Oh yeah, if you choose, if you just choose, if you just want to, just have it in your heart to want to, the desire to do the right thing. You know, we, young person out there, whoever's listening, old person, I don't care, but mainly, you know, like I said, we got the heart for the young. You have gifts, you have talent, you have everything you need to make it in this world, and you know what your gifts are. You know what your gifts are. You know what you're passionate about. You know what people look to you and say, you know, man, that kid is so, I mean, I know some young men that are so amazing in their own right. They're artists, they're painters, they're writers, they're rappers, they're good at sports, just kind, wonderful individuals. But so you have so many gifts, you just tap into those, and all that energy that you put into perhaps getting over or using somebody or taking from people or whatever, all of that energy, direct that into the gifts that God has given you. And as you move forward and you really tap into those gifts, God will make a way for you. He'll make a way for you. It'll just start opening up all kind of paths, and you'll see that you're just as worthy of greatness and worthy of all the good things in this world like anybody else. And I truly understand that sometimes when an individual doesn't have basic needs met in their life, is Dr. Abraham Maslow, and he talks about it's a pyramid, and when children or young people, whoever, don't have their basic needs met, like safety, a place to live, clothing, food, rest, they will result to things that are a little less than nice, just to get those basic needs met. So even in that, you have to reach out and open yourself up to get assistance and help to get those basic needs met, so that you can move through life a little bit better.
I don't mean to cut you off.
No problem.
I was just, as you was talking, so that's why I mentioned earlier that, you know, people being in a community, you know what I mean, if we can all just come together, you know what I mean, without any type of issues with one another, or you know, problems or whatever, put all that aside, you know, to save our youth, you know what I mean, you know, do something, open up a school of arts, or you know, maybe get a facility where, you know, we have young people that love sports, you know, that love music, that love to draw, that love to create, you know. If we could just step out and just be a part of that, you know what I mean? And like I said, looking in our neighborhoods, paying more attention, you know what I mean? I know we have some parents that have their own children that, you know, they're trying to, how can I say that, they're trying to encourage and be a part of their life. But it's also a blessing when you reach out to other children too that don't have, you know, like you said, that good parent or whatever, you know what I mean, or that's a support system that they need to reach and be everything that they can possibly be, to keep their mind in the right place, you know.
And going back to our topic today, which is conscience, I know, and it's always heavy on my conscience, heavy on my mind, what it is that I can do as an individual to assist this world in being better. And more than anything, our young people, because they are our future. They're our future. They are the reason how this world was going to be better as it progresses. Okay, so as individuals that are in my age group or maybe a little bit younger, just adults, make sure that you are conscious of what you can do to help younger people that need our help. Even when you see an individual out there that may be lost, you know in your gut that you need to say something sometime, you need to assist them sometime, you need to do something. We are not here on this earth just to help ourselves. We are here to assist God to help all of us, our people.
To be a
okay,
service.
be a service to our people on this earth. And don't let, you know in your conscience that that's wrong if you ain't trying to help nobody, okay?
Yeah.
If you just buying things for yourself, trying to showboat, look good, and tell everybody what you got, then you just here for yourself, and your conscience should tell you that that's wrong.
Yeah.
So I say, and it kind of took a turn, but I feel guilty if I don't reach out and help somebody at some point in time as much as I can. I always say do what you can for whoever you can, whenever you can. There'll be a time where you may not be able to, but if you can do it, do it. And God will smile upon you and do nothing but reward you for it and give you peace, eternal peace in your heart and happiness. So, I don't know who we're here to help today, but I'm sure it's somebody, because God would not have given us that to say if it was not to be. So thank you so much for joining us today. This is the Toni